Good evening, everybody. It's about 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, January the 19th. This is a shout out to my Uncle Mike. My Uncle Mike is 72 years old today, so happy birthday in Grinnell, Iowa to my Uncle Mike. His birthday, but tomorrow is Inauguration Day. Woohoo! President number 47, Trump, tomorrow.
I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, why she's doing it. Why are you talking all about that stuff and aiming the camera at me?
Well, I'm just saying, I wanted to give my uncle a birthday shout out.
Let
And tomorrow,
me film the donkey's butt and talk about the president.
all right, well, this is pre-inauguration evening, but we've got some news of our own. So Stephen wanted to give an update on this week's worth of work. He's taken 2 days off.
It was all my idea.
So yesterday, I will start out by saying this. Yesterday, Saturday, you wanted to get out there so bad to get some work done because you had worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on the truck. And you wanted so bad to get out there and work. But your body would not allow it. You absolutely could not get outside yesterday.
Yeah, I tried. I went and got so the socket that I used, I did 6 bolts with it. Of course, I've used it for other things, but the 6 bolts that were on all the bushings, I was able to use it on all 6 bolts, but I'm down to the last bushing on the driver's side rear. Basically, the same one that I started on the rear is the last one I'm doing. It's all I have left as far as the bushings are concerned. So I went over there and put the socket to it, and I got the nuts off, but the bolts are seized up in there, and I had the breaker bar with my ratchet bar with a bar on that. So I had about 8 foot of bar with me hanging off of it, and it would not break loose. And so I tried the other one and see what I could do with it, and the socket gave out. So, and I looked at the socket and I was like, well, it's a wonder it didn't give out before then, because it wasn't an impact socket in the first place. So yesterday when I got up, first thing I did was ran to town and got a socket. Also got an impact swivel in the 3/4 inch drive. And then I got an impact, the 1 1/8 that I'd been using in an impact, and plus I replaced the socket that I wore out. But and when I got home, I was pretty sore. So what happened the day before? So that big drum tool that I'm using, drum puller, it reaches around and grabs a hold of it, and then it's got the screw that goes down the middle. It's about that big around. It's huge. But on the end, it's got the point, the center point. Well, the center point broke off when I had about 15. I had that ratchet as tight as it would go. And anyway, that point snapped off, and when it did, it came back and it hit me right in the ribs. And that did not, I mean, I hadn't been hit like that in a long, long time. Anyway, so when I got back from getting the parts, I took DC powder and 3 Advil, and I had to lay down. I had to lay down. When I got up, it was noontime, and I was like, oh man, I wanted to get it done yesterday, because yesterday was the last good day of weather. We had 3 days of good weather, and yesterday was going to be the last good day of the weather, and we probably won't have any more good weather temperature wise until February, from what I'm seeing. And so I really wanted to get at least that last bushing in, but I wasn't able to make it out there. So anyway, I didn't make it out there yesterday, and didn't go out there today because today was church. And so anyway, so I did want to make Richie's putting that phone in my nose. Anyway, I just wanted to say we have the best group of subscribers and followers, and their comments have been so helpful. Um, what is it? Awesome?
YouTube is awesome.
YouTube is awesome is a master mechanic. I think he said for 36 years. And he when I was torquing down them bearings, I knew that there was a few specs, and I knew the one that I was basically going off of was Meritor, and the other one was whatever, but Simcoe, and so I was doing everything as fast as I could because of the weather, and I couldn't exactly remember, but I remembered it was 200 pounds or 250. So I torqued it down to 250, and then I thought, well, no, I better not do that. And anyway, so I remember checking something that said 200 pounds. So I torqued them down to 200 pounds to set the seal, like it said. Set the seal, turn it, blah, 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 and then loosen it back up, and then torque it down to 50. And then the part that I missed, and because of YouTube, is it YouTube be awesome?
YouTube is awesome.
YouTube be awesome.
No, YouTube is awesome. That's his handle. YouTube is awesome.
YouTube is awesome.
That's his handle.
I was just playing, but you can't play with Ruthie. But anyway, YouTube be awesome said that I didn't torque it right, and so when I did get a chance, I came in the house and watched some videos, and I missed where you set the seal at 200, between 200 and 250 pounds, but 200 pounds is what I found out. It's 200 pounds, and you back it off, and you roll the hub back and forth, and then you set it at 50, and then you have to go back a quarter turn. And I didn't go back a quarter turn. I just backed it off and then set it into the little hole ring, and then put the outside nut and torqued it down to 250. So I had the 250 torqued down right on the outside. But I'm glad you did that, Mr. YouTube be awesome, because you're right. I don't want that too tight because that oil needs to get on that bearing. I don't want no problem. So I'll go back and redo those, back it off and set it at 50, and then turn it back a quarter turn, like I said, and be done with those two. But that's not an issue, but I am thankful that you caught me on that, and I did verbally say that out loud just in case you were watching, because you've been very helpful. The other comments we've been getting.
Well, let's not forget to mention his name is lost again. His name is Mr. Herschel.
Well, I was just getting at that. So, and the other guy who had 16 trucks in his overtime, was he the one in Michigan?
No, he's not the one that had 16 trucks. Now I'm getting myself confused.
But anyway, we have another guy that made comments on the torques, and I also had questions. See,
that's Scott Berry.
So what's happening now is I'm getting all twisted. So I'm not making any sense. So let me not get all twisted and not make any sense, because I'm obviously starting to rattle on and not making any sense. So thanks for that information, Mr. YouTube be awesome. And was no personal attack against Freightliner. It's just that when I called them up, I wanted to talk to them about those. So when you take the two bolts out, they'll hold the leaf spring in. They hold that leaf spring in. Now that is also where you put your alignments when you want to move the axle from side to side, thrust. So you put your alignment spacers in there. That I know about the alignment spacers. In fact, I put them back. And I just put them back because that's where they came from. I know the alignment isn't going to be the same because now it's going to have new bushings and it's going to throw everything off. So that I wasn't talking about the alignment bushings. I was talking about the two plates that go on the back bolts, which have nothing to do with the alignment of the axle at all. they go in and they don't actually have contact with anything. And when you put your bolts in, they go on with the bolts, and they go in and they don't actually contact anything. They're on. If you look down from the backside and look at the leaf spring, they go in, and you can see the two bolts. There's two plates on either side of the leaf spring, and you told me what they were. They were for in case the leaf spring got moved somehow or another. They were to keep it from hitting the housing. I understand that. So I appreciate that information. You're obviously you have way more information than I have, because I actually don't know a whole lot about semi trucks. Everything I've learned just because I worked on them, and if I haven't worked on it, I really don't know a whole lot about it. So, I have never I done my 96 bushings, but they're different on the Pete. They had a bolt going down the center, and so they were different. I think on the low air leaf than they are on this thing. So this is the first time I'm doing these kind of bushings, and without that OTC tool, and I did try to purchase the tool. I had it sitting right here on the floor, but it turned out to be the wrong tool. So I just tried to figure out a way to do it myself, because I'm running out of time here and finances. So I was able to come up with that drum removal puller, and it works. I did have to put another point on the end. I just ground it down and put another point on it, but it works. But the problem is getting the bolts out of the leaf springs. And so I have all three of them done. Just down to that first one where I removed the tires and the only seal that was leaking. And that's the left-hand driver's side. That's the same thing. The driver's side rear axle is the only one I have left. And so now what's happened is the outside bolt, when I tried to get it loose with the breaker bar, the socket gave out and it stripped off the head of the bolt, and so I'm like, well, what am I gonna do now? But I'll be getting up tomorrow and making those challenges. I do have an idea. My idea is that I'm going to take that same puller tools and I'm going to drill a hole down the end of that bolt and take that puller tool and somehow see if I can't drive that bolt out. Now, in order to get the other one, some person had put the bolt in backwards, and if I took the duals off the front axle, I would have to take the airbag out, and I still don't know if I'd have enough room to get that tool in from the other side. But that being said, I don't even think I'm thinking about it correctly, because the outside bolt is actually facing in, so I would have to get it from that side. So there's no way that I can get the tool on there. I can get the tool on the backside one, but it's not the one that's stripped out. So I don't know. I'm really at odds in with this, with these two bolts. Wouldn't you imagine the last bushing? And I am really, because they're seized up in there. I don't have a clue how I'm going to get them out. I don't want to break them, and I don't want to cut them, because if I do that, then I have the challenge of trying to get them out, and then I'd have to drill them out a little bit at a time without trying to hurt the housing, and I don't want to do that unless I have to. So,
well, one thing we're certainly thankful for, and that is we have at least four men that are really watching you like a hawk.
Yeah, there's RCE, who's been a long-time fan, and in fact, he was with us when I still had the black Freightliner. He started about this time last year, didn't he?
Oh, probably longer than that, but he definitely came on because of your black Freightliner.
But anyway, so
Shout out to RCE.
yeah, he was the one that recommended that place that I was going to lease on to when my company went out of business.
Oh
Remember?
yeah. Can't think of what that is right now, but yes, indeed, he was who he drives for. So
Anyway, so yeah, and they approved us to come on. But what sent me over to Ace Duran is that I started looking for older trucks, and so I started looking around for somebody else that would actually take on older trucks, and that's when I found Ace Duran.
wait, appreciate the comments of Mr. Herschel
So
lost again.
There's RCE, there's YouTube Be Awesome. And
recently, there's a man named Scott Berry. He's the one that has 16 trucks.
yeah.
And there are others. A new person,
Scott Berry, he is the one that gave me a scolding, and so.
No, I don't think he was the one that gave you the scolding. There was somebody new that came on last night for the first time, and you were scolded, saying that you did fail. And
Well, I did fail. I mean, it's not a game. It's I failed completely. So I have nothing against Ken and Tammy. I think they're wonderful people. I really do.
who are Ken and Tammy? They don't know.
Ken and Tammy are the people who sold me the truck. Okay.
But not everybody knew that, so I wanted to clarify.
So
that.
I don't have anything against Ken and Tammy, ladies and gentlemen, the people who sold me the truck. They were originally wanting 24 grand for that truck, and they saw the YouTube channel and called up and asked if I would take it for 15. And I told them I would, and we talked for a good long time. It was my understanding that the truck was well maintained, and and I took them for that, and I so much so that I just focused on the stuff like lights and stuff like that would pass the DOT inspection, and I never even bothered looking at the bottom of it. I figured it would pass, and when it didn't, it just blew me right out of the water. I wasn't expecting that, and then I made the video. I was highly upset, and there's a cricket underneath you. Look, we have a cricket.
We have a cricket on the floor.
We have a cricket in the house.
Oh wow! Look at that. We have a cricket.
And it's alive too.
Okay.
In the dead of winter, we got a cricket.
We got a cricket on the floor in the dead of winter.
So anyway,
We'll pick it up.
Anywho. So I have nothing against them. I like them. I think they're great people. I just don't think that he realizes how bad he neglected the truck there. I can understand you're buying a new truck and you're looking forward for that new truck, but what I think I gather is that he just let that truck go in the end. He's got a big book on what he's done to it. He's put a lot of work into it. But I believe, from what I see and from what I'm having to fix, is that he just let it go at the end. And so that's what I believe. Nothing against you, Ken, and nothing against you, Tammy. I still think that you guys are wonderful people, and I really do. I feel bad when people have bad things to say about you. That's not my intentions. My intentions is to get this truck up and running. It's cost me a lot of money. It's set me back 2 months already, and that's the bad thing about it. And that's really the bad thing about it. I mean, 2 months, and I'm probably out. I don't know what the math is, but I guarantee you, I'm up to $30,000 to $40,000 already with that truck. Because you have to include how much time I've been out of work too, and that's money. Money's money. Wherever you're losing money is where you're losing. If you're losing it for parts, or if you're losing it because you ain't out making it, either way, you have to add it in there. And so, I'm between $30,000 and $40,000 into that thing right now, and for $40,000, I could have had a freaking really nice truck, And so, the sad thing is when I'm 40,000 in this truck, it's still the same truck. You know, and but anyway, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's on its way. It's nearly there. I have one bushing. I got to reset those bearings on the front axle. I got to go ahead and put the new shoes on the back axle, and put the tires on that, and then adjust the brakes on that, and then the last thing is the kingpins up front. And I got to remember to do the clutch, and thanks RCE, I got to put the reflectors up on
reflective tape.
Reflector. I have a big roll of it. I bought it for that last trailer. But I got to put that up on the back of the sleeper, and I have a new stereo. I have some new blinkers too, because one of the blinkers quit. So but yeah, I'm down to the nitty gritty, and so.
One of our people that watch us regularly, you happen to be sitting right next to your new coveralls. And one of our people said that they've noticed that you're wearing your old coveralls all the time.
I ordered these. See, the last ones I got were large. And I don't know if you noticed, but they are extremely tight on me. And I'm a little man, only 5'8", and I weigh 170 pounds. And they are super duper tight on me. Now, when I got them, they used to hang off my arms and off my legs. So I ordered these. The next size up was an extra large regular. I guess they have an extra large tall, but I got an extra large regular. So they hang off my feet and they hang off my hands. But I got them to shrink to fit, because I guarantee you they will shrink. Every set of coveralls I've ever had shrink. But I don't want to drag these out there and get them all greasy, because I want to be using these when I'm chaining and coiling, and then when I'm done chaining and coiling, or when I'm done chaining and coiling, that didn't make no sense. When I'm done chaining down the coils, when I'm done chaining down all the coils, or whatever load I may have, I can take these up and roll them up and put them away, and they won't have no grease on them. I don't want any grease on them.
You've only used those one time, and that's from a video that I have not uploaded yet. Last Saturday, you were out in the snow on the four-wheeler last Saturday, having a good time in the snow, and you had those on, and that was the only time you've worn those.
Anyway, I didn't want this to go on more than 5 minutes, so.
We're 22 minutes in.
Yeah, well.
22 minutes. So if you have stuck with us for the whole 22 or 23 minutes.
Well, I was all over the place. I never did get to say what I wanted to say. What I want to say is that I really, really do appreciate your comments. I appreciate your mentoring me, because even though I do get out there and bust my hump, I'm very ignorant to a lot of the stuff that's going on there. Listen to me. Don't be shaking your head at me, Ricky. I'm very ignorant to a lot of stuff that goes on out there, like the specifications and stuff. I can take anything apart. Well, I say that, and I can't seem to get them bolts out. But let me rephrase that. Well, I was going to say I could take anything apart, and then I remember those bolts, and I can't get them out. So
almost anything. I
can take almost anything
unless
apart,
it's from Michigan.
And I can almost put anything back together, but knowing all the specs and everything, I'm not that inclined to know all that kind of stuff. So you guys mentoring me and watching me, and I purposely try to put the information out there to let you know that, hey, this is what I know. If you know anything different, please holler out. And I'm really glad that you guys are hollering out, because it keeps me in line. I will go back and I'll reset those bearings, and I will get to that. And then I haven't done the back bearings yet. So when I do that, and somebody asked about the bearings, by the way, and the bearings looked absolutely fine. They didn't look like they needed to be replaced, but I'm here, and so why not replace them, right? I'm here. I have to knock the seals out anyway. So anyway, all the bearings look good, and so they're new bearings now, so they're going to be even better. So uh, I still haven't checked the oil on the tranny. I'll get to that. Right now, I thought I had a little hand pump that goes on your 5-gallon jug where you can pump it. I can't find it anywhere right now. And so what I'm having to do is take a funnel and pour it into a squeeze bottle and do it a little bottle at a time. And when you have an empty pumpkin and you're filling it up that way, it takes forever. So that rear drive, I want to drain it completely because it looked milky color. So the front drive was pretty clean. It still was like a red color. So and I haven't got to the transmission yet. I will get to when I have to adjust the clutch. I had bought that tool, so I'll get that pulled out and probably have to heat it up as tight as them kids at them places, the TA and stuff where they do lubes. I don't take my place to a place like that. I used to when I was younger, take them over, let people do it, but I don't let nobody touch my truck anymore. So they get them things on there tight. So I'll probably have to put some heat to that one on transmission to get it loose and check the level, fill that up, or check to see how clean it is, then fill it up.
So
check it out.
Main focus tomorrow while you all are watching the inauguration.
So I'm getting really close. I'm almost done with it. I said that last week and was thinking I'd be done by the end of this week, but I'm not. And
I still don't have Friday's videos up. Videos from Friday where you were talking about this is just the worst truck that you've ever had. I don't have.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the worst truck I ever owned was a 1996 Peterbilt that I bought, and the guy just lied to me. I forget the name of the company. Baskins.
It is Baskin. Baskin's Truck Sales in Tennessee.
Yeah, Baskin Truck Sales in Tennessee. The guy lied to me and told me that it was overhauled. It was this and it was that. Anyway, it was my first truck, and it caught on fire on me twice.
That was 20 years ago.
And then it ended up dropping. I had a valve job done on it by a mechanic, and it didn't run right after that, and then it dropped the valve in the number 6 cylinder and just destroyed the motor. But that was a learning experience. It was my first truck, and if that happened to me today, well, I would just stay with the truck and get a tow truck and pull the head off and pull the sleeve out and put a new sleeve in it and a new piston. I wouldn't walk and go get a new head and put a head on it. I wouldn't walk away from it. But that one I walked away from, and I let it go. And so that taught me a lesson, because I mourned over that for a good while because I knew that I could have fixed it. And the reason why I know is because I ended up selling it to the guy right here in town, and I stood right there while they fixed it. And so I was like, I watched them fix it, and I was thinking to myself, I could have fixed that on the side of the road. I mean, I could have fixed it myself. And so that ate me up for a couple of years until I got my next truck. And so now I don't let nobody touch my trucks, and I just fix them, and I just learn as I go. And so that's why I really appreciate and really admire people to take their time and let me know pointers and anything that I need to know, because whatever I need to know, please keep letting me know, because it's very helpful to me. And all the information you can give me is more information I need. So, and I'll take it. So I appreciate it.
Very grateful for it.
Yes, I'm very grateful.
Getting some free professional advice. So while you all are watching the inauguration tomorrow, Stephen will have to see it on rewind because he said that he has to be outside after 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I was on the mend. I mean, I nearly broke a rib. That tool, when it popped off, and I had the impact wrench, the Milwaukee 3/4 inch drive, and it pushes out to 1,500 pounds of torque. When I was holding it like this, and I was holding the other end like this, trying to hold the whole thing on there, and was really laying into it, and it popped off and went right into my rib. And you know what? Any of you know what it's like to get hit in the kidney? That's what it felt like. I was like, oh! I was like, wanted to pass out. But anyway, so that hurt. And then it fell off on the other side because that thing has a tendency of falling off and hurt my shoulder. And so at night when I'm trying to sleep, you might hear me moaning and groaning because I'm hurting all over the place. So I was a hurting unit. I got 2 days off, and it's time to get back to work. I really need to get the truck done. So thank you for all your pointers, and thank you for your comments. We really do enjoy them, and they're very helpful. And I'm sorry if there's any confusion and thinking that we don't like them or we're nagging or not an acceptance to them. We appreciate them. We love them. YouTube is a hard job, but the reason why we took on YouTubing was 4 years ago. Ruthie and I became a born again Christian 22 years ago, and I had this one guy is always being hateful on YouTube, making all he wants to talk about is my past.
Oh, that Kevin guy.
Yeah, he wants I'm a ex-con, a loser, and blah blah this and that. But here's the point. So one of the reasons why we have a YouTube channel is that 22 years ago, after doing my time, I got out. I was a born again Christian. So the YouTube channel was created as a Christian, a new young baby Christian coming out of prison, getting married and starting his life all over with in America, and the challenges that it takes to start over. What was I, 42 years old when I got out?
Yes.
To start over.
41.
I was 41 years old. I start brand new at 41 years old. I didn't have 2 coins to rub together. In fact, when I got out, I was in a tank top, pair of pants that I couldn't button, and a pair of cowboy boots in the snow. And that's all I had. I had the number one thing I had was the Lord Jesus Christ. And so this journey of our YouTube channel is about a man who got out of prison 22 years ago with nothing in his pocket. And here I am today, even though I'm not sitting on top of the world. But let me tell you, if you get down and out and you're homeless and you have nothing at all, don't give up, because it's a lot of work. But you can have success and you can have a family. My number one thing about me getting through to the point that where I'm at today is that I have the Lord Jesus Christ, and that's what our YouTube channel is about. It's about a Christian family making it in today's world. So, and we're making it. It's not easy. It's a grind, but we're making it.
So as we close this out, Stephen says it's a good thing that we actually have a hater on YouTube. We have a hater. We have a guy named Kevin that is our hater.
Well,
and you said that that's a good thing that we have a hater.
Anyway, so most successful channels always have their haters, and we're not a successful channel yet. I mean, we have 7,000 subscribers. We probably make anywhere from $200 to $300 a month off the channel. Ruthie puts in about 8 hours a day making videos. But that's, when I go back on the road, that'll change, and I'll have to start making videos. But I'm not going to put in time like she does when she makes videos. When I make videos on the road, I think before I put up a video or how it's going to go, and I make the video and then I upload it. I don't do any editing. So that's to be the road videos. But anyway, but YouTube for us is just about sharing our experience on what it takes to get a Christian family from nothing to where we're at today. And like again, we don't have a lot, but we have a lot more than a lot of people. So we are blessed, and we have struggles. We have that one hater that always makes his comments about me losing my trucks. I never lost a truck. I gave my trucks up because the first one was the 96 that I was just talking about. The second one, AJ has autism, and he's my boy, and I love him, and I don't want him to go down the wrong path, and I will do anything for him. And I let my first Pete go, and I had a lot of pride and joy and a lot of work in that first Pete, the second Pete, or third Pete. It was the third Pete, and I let that third Pete go because of him, and I needed to be home, and I tried to make a go of it at home. But where I fail is to be home. I can't seem to make money when I'm at home, and so I have to get back on the road to make money. And that's when I ended up with the black freight shaker, because I had to make money. Being at home just wasn't going to play out. And so I was able to get that black Freightliner, and that was, Bob sold me a masterpiece when he sold me that thing. I didn't really have to do anything, but I took the interior out and put the interior back in, as color changed and clean, because he had a dog and I'm allergic to dogs. Other than that, that truck was ready to go. And I let that go because AJ, again, got in trouble with the law, and he's, in fact, I guess it was, I say that it's for nothing that I got rid of my truck for nothing, because we ended up losing him anyway. But that I let that truck go because I couldn't be at court and doctor's appointments and my appointments and all this. I couldn't make ends meet trying to get him to go to court, and he couldn't stay at home with his mother because he'd got in trouble. So I had to take him with me, and it just caused all kinds of problems. And so I had the opportunity to go into another business, and that's when I got that forestry mulcher. And you would think that I'd be able to make money with it, but it set more than anything. And so I can't make money with something that just sits there. And so I ended up letting it go. And with the money that I got from that, I got this truck. And so, but we lost AJ. So that's why I've been letting them trucks go, was for my boy. I didn't want to lose him. And so we lost him anyway.
Well, let's clarify for the people that don't know.
Anyway, so I forgot my train of thought, but I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, you keep people who don't necessarily watch all of our videos don't understand that AJ's in foster care.
Well, that's what I mean. So look, I'm kind of frustrated here because I can't seem to make my point get out. My point is that I let those pieces of equipment go, not because I couldn't make it in the trucking world. I let them go because my son is needing help from his dad. He needs me home to be a family man. And when I come home, I can't seem to get a job to keep me home, and so I end up going back out on the road. And because of my criminal record, I could not ever get on with a decent company. All I can get on with is these companies that want to bend me over. They want you to stay behind the wheel and never let you go home and pay you nothing kind of job. And I don't want to work for people like that. And so I just drive my own truck, and that way I don't have to put up with that kind of crap. But the Lord has allowed us to be able to clean up my criminal record. So I don't even have a criminal record anymore as of last summer. And because I don't have a criminal record anymore, that's why I can get on with a decent company. So I can go on and work for the best companies now, and but I've never done that before. And so this is my first opportunity in this last 20 years for me to get on with a good company because I no longer have a criminal record. And so it is a journey. It's quite the journey. It's this channel is everything that I thought it would be, and that's a Christian family trying to make it in this world and the struggles we would have. And as you can see, this is a Christian family in the United States of America having the struggles that you can have. So that's what the channel is about. And it's exactly what it is too, right? I mean, it's a struggle. And sometimes I wonder if it ever ease up. I want to give up. I want to give up all the time. All the time I want to give up. But you know what? There's no answer in giving up, because you think that it's hard now with having to work out there in the 20 degrees and getting hit in the kidneys with a tool and struggling to make tools and this and that. You think that's hard. You think what I'm doing is hard? Well, I can guarantee you, I know what it's like to be without. I know what it's like to be homeless. And I know, and you think what I'm going through is hard? That's pretty freaking hard, being homeless. And I don't want my family to be homeless. I want them to have a roof over their head. I want my boy to come home. I want him to have, I want him to know that his dad loves him and that he means everything to me. And, you know, and I'll do anything. I'll sell my Peterbilt. I'll sell my Freightliner. I'll sell my house, whatever I have to do to save my son. And so, anyway, so hope you guys enjoy the channel. Thank you for your comments. Have a wonderful day. Have lots of fun. God bless. And later.
Wow. 42 minutes.